Good morning everybody. I am Sridhar Reddy. Today my topic is electron affinity. Let us take one atom which consisting of the number of shells. Let us take here. I am taking one atom which has the 4 shells where it is called as the valency shell. For this valency shell I am adding one electron. When I am adding the one electron to the valency shell, immediately energy releases, amount of energy releases. Now definition of the electron affinity. The amount of energy releases by adding one electron to the valency shell of the neutral gaseous atom is called as the electron affinity. So it is quite opposite to the ionization potential. Yesterday we discussed the ionization potential. What is the ionization potential? The amount of energy required to remove the electron from the valency shell. Now I am adding the electron, energy releases. That's why the amount of energy releases when an electron is added to the valency shell of the neutral gaseous atom is called as the electron affinity. I will give you the mathematical equation. Let us take here. M is the neutral atom. I am adding one electron. Immediately it accepts and it converts into the M minus, and energy releases, which is called the EA1. EA1 is nothing but first electron affinity. Why it is called as the first electron affinity? We are adding the first electron to the neutral gaseous atom. Immediately neutral converts into the anion because it taken the electron and releases some amount of energy, which is called as the EA1. Here energy releases. That's why this reaction is called as the exothermic reaction. What are the exothermic reaction? A chemical reaction which takes place with the liberation of energy, releases of energy. Those reactions are called as the exothermic reaction. That's why the electron affinity reactions are exothermic reaction. Whenever it is exothermic reaction, it is represented with the negative. It is represented with the negative. Delta H is negative, particularly for the electron affinity reaction. Now, I am taking the M minus. It is called the uni-negative charged ion. What is the uni-negative charged ion? Which contains the number of electrons will be higher than the proton. So it added electron. So electron will be high. That uni-negative ion, I am adding the another electron. So electrons are already extra. So electrons extra, nothing but repulsion will be arises. So when you are adding another electron, immediately what happen? The repulsion between already present electron and being added electron will be increases. Already electrons are high. So repulsion is there. And you are adding another electron. Repulsion further increases. Ultimately, the energy does not releases. Actually, this electron cannot be added unless until you supply the energy. You supply the energy, then only the repulsion overcomes takes place and this electron is added. That's why in case of here, energy is not releases, energy is observed. In order to add the second electron affinity, actually according to our concept, electron affinity, nothing but energy must be released by adding the electron. But whenever uni-negative ion is taken, to add another electron, energy you have to supply because repulsion is there and you are adding another electron, you are increasing the repulsion. To overcome this repulsion, you have to supply the energy. Whenever you supply the energy, it converts into the M minus 2. Nothing but here, instead of exothermic reaction, it becomes as the endothermic reaction. For the endothermic reaction, delta H will be equal to the positive. Here very important question. Why the second electron affinity is positive? He asks you. So during the first electron affinity, the ion formed is called as the uni-negative charged ion, which has the more number of electron. Electrons are high, nothing but repulsion will be high. You are adding another electron, repulsion further increases. To overcome this repulsion, instead of energy releasing, you have to supply the energy. That's why you are giving the energy. That's why it is called as the endothermic reaction. Whenever it is endothermic reaction, it is called as the plus. You are having delta H will be the plus. Very important. Then, what are the units for the electron affinity? The units for the electron affinity will be the electron volts per atom, kilocalories per mole, and kilojoules per mole. That's why ionization potential and electron affinity will have the same units. Definition also will be the same, nearly nothing but opposite to, exactly opposite to each other. So amount of energy releases by adding electron is called as the electron affinity. The amount of energy required to remove electron is called as the ionization potential. So both will have the same units. One is called as the electron volts per atom, kilocalories per mole, and kilojoules per mole. Immediately, this electron affinity depends on the 4 parameters. One is called the atomic radius. So electron affinity depends on atomic radius, nucleus charge, screening effect, electronic configuration. So in the ionization potential also we discussed the 5 parameter. Here electron affinity depends on the 4 parameter. One is called the atomic radius, nuclear charge, screening effect, which is also called the shielding effect. Last will be the electronic configuration. Now we will discuss how the electron affinity varies in the group and the period. Group. In a group, how we have to move? In a group, as we move top to bottom. As we move top to bottom, what happens? Atomic radius increases. So already we discussed. Atomic radius increases. What is the atomic radius? Distance between the center of the nucleus to the valence electron. If it increases, nucleus attraction over valence electron decreases. Nucleus attraction decreases nothing but by adding one electron, energy released also less. Nothing but electron affinity will be less. So as the atomic radius increases, electron affinity decreases. Why it is decreasing? Because the atomic radius is increasing. Nucleus attraction over valence electron is decreasing, attraction is decreasing. That's why you add one electron, energy released will be less. Ultimately electron affinity will be less. That's why in a group, as we move top to bottom, electron affinity decreases. In period, in a period, as we move left to right, atomic radius decreases. Atomic radius decreases nothing but nucleus attraction over valence electron will be high. Whenever attraction is high, immediately you add one electron, energy released will be high. Ultimately electron affinity will be high in the period. So in the group top to bottom, electron affinity decreases. In a period, as we move left to right, electron affinity increases. But here one exception, one important point I will give you. In the group you take, I am taking the 7th A group elements. I am taking fluorine, chlorine, bromine and the iodine. This is the 7th A group element, which are also called the halogen elements. So in a group top to bottom, electron affinity must be decreased. So here also must be decreased. Ultimately fluorine must and should have the highest electron affinity. One concept is also there. This electron affinity is directly proportional to the electronegativity. Electron affinity is directly proportional to the electronegativity. Which is the highest electronegative element? Fluorine is the highest electronegative element. Highest electronegative element will have highest electron affinity. So according to this concept also, top to bottom must be decreased. Nothing but fluorine must and should have the highest electron affinity. But in your periodic table, highest electron affinity element is the chlorine. Actually, according to our concept, it must be the fluorine. But fluorine is not having the highest electron affinity. Chlorine will have highest electron affinity than the fluorine. Highest electron affinity element is chlorine. Why? Immediately. Two reasons we are having. Fluorine will have the small size. Number 2. It will have the repulsions between already present electron and being added electron increases. Let us take here. Fluorine, nothing but we can say 2s2, 2p5. Nothing but we have 2 shells. Let us take 2 shells. 2 shells is consisting of the 7 electrons. 7 electrons. What is the electron affinity? Addition of another electron. Already small size, already we accommodated 7 electron, repulsions are there and you are adding another electron. Whenever you are adding the another electron, what happens? Repulsion increases. Repulsion between the already present electron and being added electron will be increases. Ultimately, energy released will be less. That's why chlorine will have the highest electron affinity than the fluorine. Ultimately, one deviation. According to this, electron affinity must be decreased. Fluorine must have the high electron affinity. According to this rule also, fluorine must and should have the highest electron affinity, but chlorine will have the highest electron affinity because fluorine will have small size. Already repulsions are there and you are adding another electron, repulsion further increases. Ultimately the energy released will be less as compared to the chlorine. Ultimately chlorine is the highest electron affinity element. Then very important, in the metals you take, in the metals, which element will have the highest electron affinity? Gold element. Gold will have the highest electron affinity, particularly whenever you are taking the metals. Another last point. How to calculate the electron affinity indirectly? Indirectly, one manner is there. That is called the Born-Haber cycle. Born-Haber cycle. This Born-Haber cycle is useful to calculate the electron affinity of the substances indirectly. Thank you.